If you like this video or content, please give me a subscribe. If you like the actual video, give me a thumbs up. But anyway, let's continue on with the video. Hello, welcome back. So, my title and why am I showing magazines? So, the couple of years ago, my colleague from work, I've known him for years, approached me. He knew I was playing, really into video games, and I just started my channel. He said, listen, I have magazines you never heard of. They're from Marvel Comics, and they talk about video games. I'm going, what? I never heard of this. So I just, whatever, and eventually he brought him in, and he gave me 2 issues. They're called Blip, if you can see right here. And so I just took them out. It's like, I've never seen these before. So I finally got a new printer, and I was going to scan these magazines. But before I did that, I decided, you know what, I'm going to look online. I need a printer anyway. And I found them online. So these are the online versions, and I'll put a link below if you want to read them. There's like 7 issues in total, and that's all they make. And the actual quality of it is pretty much a comic book. They look like from back in the day. If you had comic books, they had a glossy outer cover, and then all the pages feels like from the 80s, mostly from the 80s. The 90s, late 90s, it got more glossier, like the paper was a lot better and they last longer, but these are just basically pulp magazines and stuff. So Marvel took an already established printing process and distribution and just made video game magazines out of it. So it was very little cost to them. They made 7 issues. So I'm just going to go through 2 of them because I only have 2 of the issues. There are 7 of them. I'm not going to go through the entire thing. I think it'd be kind of boring video. Also, I've changed my lighting because you're going to be looking at the screen. I decided, you know what? I'm going to change the lighting a little bit. I was thinking later on maybe putting something on the screen here. Maybe like a logo or whatever, just something different, something to make the videos a little different, something to experiment. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I have a lot of magazines that I can show you guys. A lot of it is not uploaded. I have magazines for the Atari ST. I got some magazines, Atari Fan Club in Quebec for English, that were distributed for the Atari Fan Club. So if you're interested in seeing that kind of stuff, please give me a comment below you want a future video. But without further ado, let's take a look at Blip. This is issue 4, I believe. Yes, issue 4. So I think this is a Vic 20. I love some of this artwork here. And let's go through some of the... So here we go, they have categories here. This Laverne and Shirley game is just, I guess it's a concept. I thought it was a real video game. I did some research. There is a Laverne and Shirley board game, more of like a dating game, but there's no such thing as video game. Then I said, wait a minute, this looks like it's just a spoof of what a video game would be, or if they came like a weird concept of a TV show and made it into a video game, because at that time they made video games out of everything. So where are the joysticks? This is like what you would use your computer to program for, and there's examples. I love some of these old ads. You never see this kind of stuff, especially the artwork. You can tell it's from the 80s. Donna and the Canada Factory. They're talking about more about, I believe, instead of being just a job, to being more of an a type of art to make video games, which is really funny because if you think about it, one of the reasons why Activision was formed, and a humongous company right now, there were disgruntled employees of Atari, and the president at the time said that they're just workers like anybody else. So he would treat his programmers from Atari somebody like at a gas station just pumping gas. Nothing wrong with pumping gas, you got to pay the bills, but it's a little bit more than that when you're making programming games that is $1 billion company or $1 million company. I love these little cartoons stuff. That's kind of neat. Again, this is Laverne and Shirley. This is like a concept if ever they made a game of it. Again, I was like, what? They made a video game out of this? And this is interesting. This, when I was going through this before the video, is one of these questions here. My parents were going to buy an Atari 5200 for Christmas, but the salesman told them that Atari was going to make any more cartridges for it. He said the 5200 was going to be taken off the market soon. Is this true? And they reply back, we called the people at Atari to ask them about the future of the Atari 5200. They assured us that there would be no truth to the salesman, what the salesman said, and the 5200 is their top of the line product, and said they're going to have no intention of putting them off the market. That's very interesting. This is 1983. This is where the big video game crash happened. And I believe it got off the market in 84 or 85. People tell me in the comments below, correct me, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that maybe they're thinking about it. Maybe the salesman heard about it through the grapevine and just told the customer, like, listen, you're going to buy this, you're going to be disappointed. There'll be no games coming out maybe in a year. So I probably got either, if he got found out, I bet you was fired. If he got found out, if that salesman was like, oh, by the way, who is that salesman? You know, it's not the magazine, but if they contacted back Blip magazine saying, who was that little Tommy, little Davey, whatever, and they'll go back, who was that salesman? You know, it's like shut up. But I bravo for the salesman to tell him, because you know it would like basically a paperweight. Did I just like skip way ahead? Okay, here we go. All right, I love the, like, again, this is Blip's Tipsy, which is like tips for certain games. And this is Turbo. Looking to the future. They're talking about an article about ColecoVision, and many people have heard of Amsterdam, New York. It's a small factory in Mohawk Valley, about 200 miles north of New York City. It was the manufacturer of ColecoVision when they're still in the video game market and coming out with this sweet little portable stuff, and plus the consoles and the games, and they're looking for more people. That didn't last very long. Fake. Oh, find the fake. So this article is, you read the description and find out if they're talking like Burger Time. You have to read the description and see, are they talking about Burger Time? The supercharger. Now, if you don't know what a supercharger is, it's a little add-on device, and I'll put a picture up here, where you plug it in to your Atari 2600, and there's like an audio cable that goes into a tape player, and then you load games that way. It added a little bit of more memory, and there was like unique games for it. And there was a Frogger version on there. Yeah, Dragon Stomp, also from Starpath, Communist Mutants from Space, Fireball, Suicide Mission, Frantic. What did he mention anything about Frogger? Protect our children. They are told that video games will turn your brains into oatmeal. Yeah, I've heard that too many times. Don't wait. Reserve your monthly copy of Blip today. Yeah, this thing they have like arcade advertisements. And there's Frogger. So let's look at issue number 2. Which is, this one's I find a more interesting cover. They have like they got like Jaws, Conan, guy from Tron, Rocky, Eddie Murphy, E.T., Tootsie, that's Dustin Hoffman, I love it. Dustin Hoffman Fan Club, Indiana Jones, Pink Panther, and Spock. There's a lock and chase. I have that game for the Atari. Talk about the article about well, different games and stuff. E.T. E.T. was the biggest hit in 1982. The movie was a huge success, but the only beginning there was hundreds of spin-off items, everything from candied furniture to clothing that also relied on an E.T. name to cash in big. Just about anything you can think of might be sold to kids were sold with an E.T. logo, which is very true. But there was one spin-off that fizzled when an executive come to first saw E.T. Yeah, they're talking about how bad it is. Wanted to give the kids blah blah blah, but which didn't work that way. The action wasn't there, and the most publicized game since Pac-Man turned out to be a flop. Yeah, there you go. Yowzers. Here's some more letters. This is like back in time. This is so interesting. I love magazine. I like Blip tips because I learned how to play Centipede, and now I was just great at it. Really liked your magazine. It used to be lose bets playing Centipede. Now I read Blip tips. I always win. Think this magazine is really super. Super. And more tips for Tron. Zaxxon, which I have for the ColecoVision. Don't wait. Hello. Save 50%. Wait a minute. Save 50%? Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to see something here. I wonder if they were reducing the price for subscriptions. Yeah, okay, all right. So both of them had 50% off, so you don't buy them in the stands. How much is it? Canon and foreign add $2 for subscription. Meh. Yeah, this is like know your enemy and you pair them off. So let me see if I can do this. Pengo, Frogger, that would be Dig Dug, Qbert, the guy from Burger Time. I think his name is Peppy or Preppy. Zaxxon, Mario, the guy from Venture, Tron, and Pac-Man. It's a little harder. What the heck are you? He's from... Oh, stop it. He is from... Wow. All right. Okay, what's this guy from? He's from Burger Time. I think he might be from Qbert. Maybe Venture? He's from Tron, I think. Donkey Kong, of course. Pac-Man. He's from Qbert. That must be from Zaxxon, and that's from Frogger. Why is this weird? Why does this look weird? Yeah, the scan. Like I have the actual issue, and I looked it up, and this is a separate. These are like this is the fold here, and then there's the, and this is a separate page. So I don't know what's going on there. It looks fine. Oh, these are the. I'm going to talk about converting these products that are coming out, very similar to the Star Path, but you would actually program your own games and load in other games. So they were counting on Atari's adopting, like everybody had an Atari pretty much in their household. A lot of people, there was a lot of Atari sold, and this will be an add-on to install their games, which is very interesting. And I think it was like $90. This was going to be $90. This never came out. So who made this? Mattel. Atari and Mattel realized in order to stay on top, they have to do things offer more computer capabilities. So computers, like the 8-bit and 16-bit computers, mostly 8, unless you want to count the I know somebody's going to put in the comments, the TI-99 is technically a 16-bit computer. Most of them were 8, and people were buying these computers because I don't want my child to play a video game. I want him to learn school. So they come up with these products so you can turn your Atari into more of a inline to a computer and do finances and schoolwork, and there's a tape drive, so it's cheaper media. They never came out. This is for the one for Intellivision. And there was one for the ColecoVision, which is the Atom. Video games are bad for your health. But only if you try to eat them. Rags, what's the matter? I've been playing for hours. I can't get this last attacker. Jerk, that's a cockroach across the screen. Is it worth any points? Wah, wah. I love the leg warmers. Oh, this is a Blip talent search. Yes, I read this. So this would mean that people would submit their game ideas, submit it to Blip, and then Blip would come out with a contest reward. So maybe they're coming out with their own publishing, like published games, and then give some people the money for some cool ideas. Don't know. Marvel's made video games, has just made it from other companies like Activision and, oh my gosh, Sony. They came out, well, Spider-Man, duh. Like, but back in the day, I don't think, well, there was Spider-Man for the 2600. And, well, there's Superman, but that's DC. Yeah, this is the Brady Bunch game. So come out with a weird concept and see if you can make a video game out of it. That's the article. Survey results. Here's another subscription offer right here. See you next month. Actually, I bought this game. I just bought this game on eBay. Tutankhamun says I didn't have this one yet for the Atari 2600. But I talked a lot. I hope you enjoy this. If you don't, it's just something for me to do. I wanted to do something differently. If you want to see more stuff that I have here as a media, I'll upload it. And if it's not available on archive, I'll maybe make an account and start loading up these pages for archive. So because a lot of them are media that is very rare that I have. Some of it is like I said, Atari ST stuff from a friend of mine's father. And I've also, from the same father, I collected a bunch of pamphlets for a fan club in the Quebec and like the Ottawa Valley. So if you like this kind of videos, give me a thumbs up. Don't like them, give me a thumbs down. Any feedback will be appreciative. And if you like this kind of content, maybe consider subscribing. Until the next video, this is Mike signing off.